Hi, Rick, wake up. How are you? This is your life. I'm so happy for you. And it's always been a pleasure to be with you and to write music with you.
Congratulations. We really do miss the smell of chicken curry wafting across the stage during your solo.
Congratulations today, and boy, we did some great guitar and keyboards together, didn't we? Maybe we'll reunite another time. So Rick, all I can say is, good one, take care.
In 1973, your solo concept album, The Six Wives of Henry VIII, is a hit worldwide. A year later, you quit Yes. Your best-selling version of Jules Verne's Journey to the Centre of the Earth features the London Symphony Orchestra, but your own backing band wasn't star-studded, just a few pals from your local pub. Roger Newell, the gig came as a shock.
It certainly did, when we read on the front page of the Melody Maker that he was working at the Royal Festival Hall. We realised this was something very special.
Now, in 1975, you're working as hard as ever and drinking as hard as ever when your hectic lifestyle catches up with you. You collapse at the Crystal Palace Bowl, suffering from a heart attack. But illness doesn't put the brake on your grandiose ideas. While in hospital, you write another epic, The Myths and Legends of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. When you stage it on ice at the Empire Pool in Wembley, it's a sellout. But the show is so lavish, it loses you a small fortune. In 1981, you're down, but not quite out. You have 2 failed marriages, a tide of debts, and you're still drinking heavily when you meet Nina, already famous as a Pt3 girl.
It's going
Nina...
awfully well, isn't it?
Yes. And it gets better all the way, because Nina, you got together whilst making a record, didn't you?
Yes, yes. I made a record with Rick called The Folie Bergère, which was pretty hysterical in itself. And we fell madly in love with one another.
But Rick, it was Nina who pulled your life together.
Absolutely. Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But there's, I think sometimes you need somebody in your life who can see exactly where you're going, and Nina saw where I was going, and it was not the right way. There's no doubt about it. And if you love somebody very dearly, they can pull you together. And there's absolutely no doubt about it. You should be doing this lady, not me.
Oh.
No.
Well said. In October 1982, you go to Scotland to promote your album Rock and Roll Prophet. Nina stays in the hotel room while you go off to do an interview on Radio 4th. An emergency call to the radio station tells you that Nina has been rushed to hospital. Those were desperate days, Nina.
Yeah, I was pregnant with Gemma, and I hemorrhaged. I was rushed into hospital, and Rick was fantastic. He just gave everything up. He was looked after by the head of the radio station, who later became Gemma's godfather, and he actually cooked me the most amazing meals and brought them in a suitcase, plugged a slow cooker in at the end of the bed, and dished up roast beef and Yorkshire pudding.
Well, that was 15 years ago, and the man who gave you a roof over your head while Nina was in hospital is here, Richard Findlay.
This man was a lifesaver, because if the truth be known, it was early 80s, and times were really hard for progressive rock, and I couldn't afford to stay up in hotels and out there. And this man put me up in his house for about nearly 3 months and put up with me. He was a marvellous man.
What's your view of that?
Well, I was delighted to help Rick out. In actual fact, I had an old house, if you remember, outside Edinburgh, in a little village called Aberlady, and it had an annex. And the annex was in dreadful condition. But Rick moved in straight away, and he kicked the cooker into life. He found some beer crates, wooden beer crates. Yeah. You put a mattress on, he made a bed, you had a fire in the grate. That's right. That's great. And the smell of cooking was coming out of the kitchen within hours. You were walking on the beach with your dog, you were going to visit Nina. And at the end of all that, it was all worthwhile, because Gemma was born.
Absolutely.
And what a stunning little lady she is.
Oh, that's kind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your daughter Gemma is born in Edinburgh on February the 21st of 1983, and the family returned south to move into a new home in Camberley. Early the next year, you decided to get married. Now, Nina wanted a church wedding, but that raised problems because you'd both been married before. So you go to see the local United Reform minister, and you spend an afternoon recounting the story of your lives. Graham Long, it was strong stuff.
Yes, they came to see me very tentatively because they were not sure whether I'd marry them. I thought they were a nice couple. They were clearly trying to be very honest with me. And when they went, I really didn't have any idea that there was anything particular about them or that they were famous or anything of the kind. It was only when my children started to fight to sit in the chair that Rick had sat in that I began to get a sense that something special was about to happen. And truth to tell, I think all that's happened since then has shown that it was, in fact, very special, and we had a very, very wonderful wedding day, and it's lovely to see what a wonderful marriage they've got.
Thank you, Brian.
You marry on November the 10th, 1984, at the United Reformed Church in Camberley.
And I managed to confuse the ushers totally.
He gave the readings at your wedding, Robert Powell. So, Bob, what happened?
They'd had several marriages between them, so when I got to the church, the usher said, are you with a friend of the bride or the groom? And I said, oh, don't worry about me, I've got a season ticket. Nina's looked after you, though, hasn't she?
She's been brilliant, yeah.
Do you remember coming down to the Algarve and we played golf down there, and you arrived on the first day, on the first tee, with trousers that were just a tad small and, and a shirt that was just a little bit tight.
That's putting it mildly.
And you said that Nina had packed all your clothes and that you'd opened the suitcase in the morning and there was a note on the top and the note said...
Lose weight.
Cheers, kid.
Bless you, thank you.
Thank you very much.